Looks like they're doing a little project here down on the Humber Creek restoration, west of Scarlet Road Phase 2. First time down here ever. Wow, it's kind of nice. I haven't been down here since the project started, but they're making it obviously stepped waterfalls. Very nice. Huh. Kind of cool. On my channel today, I'm out on a Sunday ride. It's a beautiful October day today. I would say it's above seasonal with regards to temperature, and I got a nice backdrop today. I'm down at a little creek called the Humber Creek, not to be confused with the Humber River. And they're doing a restoration project here, making it, well, much nicer than the last time I seen it. It's a fair-sized project. You got to take into account all these rocks these stones, they've been placed here. They're not natural. They got a little more work to do yet. So anyhow, today I want to focus the conversation and bring awareness and a needed awareness to the group that Donald Trump deemed a terrorist organization, and that is ANTIFA. It's an anti-fascist. They operate under the guise of an anti-fascist grassroots group, but that's furthest from the truth. They're not a grassroots group, and they're not there to combat fascism. They are well funded, well organized, and well insulated by the liberals in Canada and the Democrats in the United States. They are predominantly a Western democracy-based organization, and my beliefs, they are solely put into place and financed to usher in communism into countries like Canada, countries like the United States, France, Great Britain, Germany, so G7 countries. More specifically, I want to focus on what a video that I just watched yesterday, last night, and I watched a different one early this morning with regards to a park that we have in Toronto called Dufferin Grove Park. It's a park that is southeast of Dufferin and Bloor. It's west of the downtown core, but not by much if you're not from Toronto. It's across the street from a mall called Dufferin Mall. It's been there forever. It's an old park. It's a very old part of the city. So they've had a homeless encampment there and homeless encampment problems for many years. So recently, Mayor Chow, and I don't know if Doug Ford weighed in on it, but Mayor Chow orchestrated a program to clean up the park, to relocate the people that live in the park to, I don't know, get them shelter somewhere. I have no idea. So they went in there and they relocated and dismantled the homeless encampments. Less than 2 weeks later, the homeless encampment is back in place. Now, I was watching a video on my Facebook, and I don't believe it was on YouTube. I believe it was like TikTok or Instagram, something like that. Whereas a person that is not so dissimilar to me, just with a GoPro or a cell phone camera, went into the park to document the homeless encampment being resettled. And in doing so, he noticed two people in the homeless encampment that were at the Christie Pitts Canada First rally a couple 4 weeks ago. And one of the people was wearing a neon green high-vis shirt of some sort, and this person that was doing the videoing identified that person as someone that was hostile and aggressive to him at the Christie Pitts gathering, protest, whatever you want to call it. They had people from the right there, the Canada First people, and they had Antifa. I'm just calling, the Palestinian, the pro-Hamas movement, the LGBTQ, a faction of them, a faction of the Black Lives Matter, a faction of the public sector union. It's all under the guise of communism. Let's not be fooled here anymore. They are putting flyers out there, literature out there. There's people on federal, provincial ballots running for federal seats, running for provincial seats that run for the Communist Party. So this is not something that I'm bringing new to the Toronto area information. Communism is alive and well in this country and in this city, and all these different left-wing organizations are there and funded for the purpose of ushering in communism, a tyrannical dictatorship, with which the leader of that in our country right now is Carney. He's the leader. The former leader was Justin Trudeau, the dandy boy that he is. His shelf life came to an end. His expiry date expired. So these people in the park, you know, for various different reasons, they live in the park. All of them are being paid one way or another, whether they're on Toronto Ontario Social Assistance. I think it's called Ontario Works. So they're getting paid a form of welfare there. Then they get paid, in my estimation, and based on the ANTIFA handbook, they get paid in bonuses. They get paid in various different ways. I don't know. But a lot of these people are not showing up at these rallies and being agent provocateurs and exuding and exhibiting violence for free, okay? A lot of people are, because they're mentally unstable. I get it. I've encountered many homeless encampments from coast to coast, from Newfoundland to Vancouver over the past 2 years, and I've seen some large ones. I've seen some really bad ones on East Hastings in Vancouver. Not necessarily homeless encampments, but you know, they're living on the streets, like they're passed out on fentanyl on the street, so you might as well be living on, you might as well call it an encampment. So there's obviously, you know, great mental health issues in this country, and great problems with drug addiction. Getting back to Dufferin Grove Park. So this person was down there filming, and like all these parks, there's another one at Allen Gardens. They actually have TP set up there. Allen Gardens is close to Maple Leaf Gardens. It's in the downtown core. I've been through there 3 times. And I filmed it twice, but I stopped and talked to one Indigenous lady down there, and she was hostile towards me. Didn't have it on film. That's not my thing. But anyhow, they're very hostile. Like, I get the way I look. I'm a white guy, a heterosexual male. You know, they have been indoctrinated to show hostility towards people like me. Hey, I get it. Well, I don't get it, but I'm prepared for it, I should say. You know, it's totally unwarranted. But anyhow. So, Dufferin Grove Park, the guy comes out claiming to be a First Nations person, saying you're not authorized to film here because we're having a sacred fire. So, behind this guy, I guess they had a bonfire going, a bonfire, like I have in my videos. But my videos, when I do a bonfire, it's a zero footprint fire. I'm not leaving any sort of residue behind that I've even been there. So, I'm not First Nations. I can't have a bonfire wherever I want. So this guy's claiming to be First Nations. He's claiming to use the Indians Treaty, Native Treaty Act to say that, you know, you're not allowed to film this, which I believe is nonsense. If you're out in the public, there are no laws against filming you because you're in the public. You know, if you go to someone's house and jam a camera in their living room window, yeah, you're gonna have a problem. But if you're out in a business, you're out in a public environment, there's no laws against that. So the more disturbing part, that's predictable. That's predictable. You're going to have a spokesperson. The one that is, I guess they deem the most intimidating person, is going to come up and he's going to try to intimidate you to not film. And they're aggressive. You know, he had a piece of cardboard. They want to grab the camera. And a lot of times they physically do attack the camera person, whatever. They smash his camera. They throw liquid on him. Umbrella. They like the umbrella trick. And okay, blah, blah, blah. So the more disturbing part was a security guard came out, identified as security, wearing either an edge weapons vest or a bulletproof vest. Looked like a real security guard. East Indian descent, South Asian, whatever you want to call it, brown-skinned person. English is a second language. He was telling the person with the camera to leave the area for his own safety. Now the person with the camera was saying, well, I don't have to leave this area. Like, why are you telling me to leave? Right? So, and the guy with the camera is 100% right. There should be no people coming up to you because you're having a bonfire in the middle of a public park, which you shouldn't be there to begin with. There's no laws against it. Like I said, I sort of keep reiterating that, but there are no laws against that. So then 5 other security guards come out of a little roadway. They come out and they're backing up their others, and they're all dressed in the same security outfits. They're all East Indian, South Asian people. And so basically, they told him to leave, and that's where the video kind of ends. So I don't know if the guy left or he did start to feel threatened. I don't know. But my point being is, they just cleaned this camp up. Now they have at least 6 security guards down there. What is that costing to send a security company in there? What is that costing the city to do that? What you do is you send the police in there. You send in the outreach workers, and you get them to negotiate them out of there by the next day. You send in the garbage bins, you send in whatever you got to send in, and you kick them out. And then you monitor that. You don't let them move back in, okay? Now, what is it going to take? Is it going to take citizens like me to get together, to organize like Antifa, go down to these camps and do it ourselves? Because that's where this is going. That's where this is going. People are getting increasingly more frustrated with not the lack of what the Liberal government is doing. And old Dougie Ford here in Ontario, he's not conservative. He's a Liberal. He's been got. He's been had. People have got to him, whatever reason. To a high extent, a lot of politicians that are conservatives are in the same boat. So I don't know what they do to you. I have my theories. A lot of it's very undermining. A lot of it's very evil, and how they coerce you to do evil things. So the October 25th rally, the Canada First rally, down at Queen's Park, I'm leaning more towards I am going to go to that. Because, there is a lot of desperation in the city right now. There's a lot of desperation in the country, and I've touched on this. Everyone knows what's going on with the mortgages, and I'm not going to go over that again, but people are starting to see the Liberal government not only not helping, but facilitating the managed decline. They are purposely facilitating, purposely organizing their boots on the ground, i.e. Antifa, right? Like I said, Antifa is at the top of the food chain. Then you have the LGBTQ, then you have the public sector unions, then you have BLM, and whatever else. There's a million, or not a million, but there's a lot of others that fall underneath that umbrella. There's financial groups, there's militant groups, there's the supply groups, the food groups, the legal aspect. They have lawyers on standby. Whenever an Antifa person gets arrested by the police, someone's yelling, "What's your name? What's your name?" So they can get one of their Antifa lawyers or their Antifa judges, because it's infiltrated all the way to the very top, right? The legal system, they have judges, they have crown prosecutors, in the state's district attorneys, they have them all entrenched to think that they're going to usher in communism. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So if you want to lend a voice to this cause, and I'm not saying you're going to have down at Queen's Park on October 25th, you're going to actually have people there that are going to listen to you. But you know what? It's good to get out there. It's good to show your solidarity, like the Freedom Convoy in Ottawa in 2022, February of 2022. The possibility for people on the left to be hostile, to bring violence to the protest, is 100% real. So like I said in my last video, if you're not prepared to be assaulted, and I'm not going to say that you're going to be assaulted, but the high probability or the likelihood is there. If you're not prepared to be assaulted physically, you might want to stay home, because the people that are paid to be there on the Antifa side, the people that think that they want a communist country, they want a Marxist socialist country, they want that. They're very adamant and they're very indoctrinated to the point where you can't reason with these people any longer. You can't have a conversation with them. And trust me, I've tried, and it's a lost cause. So, like I said, the likelihood of seeing something, of a violent nature down there is real. But what it is good for, it is good to actually see it firsthand. And if I do go, that's why I am going. I want to see firsthand how these people interact in a violent or hostile way. And hopefully it doesn't find me. But if it does, I've been down that road in my past life when I was younger. I've been in a few mix-ups, I've been jammed up a few times, so I know what it's like to be in a street-level altercation. That's what I will say, and that's all I will say. So this is not alien to me. I'm not afraid of it whatsoever. So like I said, hope it doesn't find me. If it does, I'm prepared for that too. If you have anything you want to add, if you have any questions or any concerns about Antifa, or you want to you know, call me a tinfoil wearing right-wing nut, by all means go for it. But I can assure you I am not that. I'm a realist. I'm on the street. I see what's going on. I see the climate in this country. I see the hostilities ever increasing. I see the desperation in people with regards to financial hardships. I see the housing market collapsing, the price of real estate, banks not giving mortgages. I've said all that before. So that's where I'm going to leave this video today. Enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are. And yeah, this is kind of nice down here. Man-made, whatever, but and I've been down here for a while too, and I haven't seen anyone. Thanks for watching. Bye.